we're here at AES in New York on the AMS Neve booth, and Robin's going to tell us about the BCM10 Mark II, which is a splendid looking piece of kit. This kind of harks back to old schoolness, I would say.
Yeah, it does. It's the BCM10 is quite, it's quite a nice design. It's very, very simple, and it was used really for broadcasting, and it's found great favour with a lot of engineers and recording artists as a sidecar, and it's because it has just great sound, and it's incredibly simple to operate. I mean, it only has a stereo bus and a mono reverb send and a mono Q, and then that's about it really, so we wanted to bring back the BCM10, and the main reasons is because we kept being asked and begged to do a sort of a revisit an older design, and so we sort of thought about it and decided that we would do the BCM10 because it's we wanted to have a console that was very, very simple. Also, we didn't want to try and have to produce a huge console like an 8068 or a 78, which would have been thousands of more hours of manufacturing and man hours of R&D and stuff like that. So the BCM10 really for us was the right place to be really. And so, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to try and keep it simplicity, but I also wanted to bring it on so that it had a new part of it, which you could use in modern day recording, and I think if I had just reinvented the BCM10 as it was, people would have said it's very nice, but it's not really pushing audio and the way in which people use gear these days. So the major, I'll just run through really the major things that are different with the console, which is it's now got four mono Qs and a stereo Q bus, and obviously a main mix bus, which is a great improvement on the BCM10, which only had one mono reverb and one Q. But also, it's a sort of a pseudo inline design, so that anybody can use the console when they're recording to make monitor mixes and to make decent Q mixes as well. But also, obviously, when you're mixing, it's got more inputs that can be brought back into the desk to basically make bigger mixes on smaller footprints, of the console. The inline design it's very, very good for that, but it gets really complicated in the larger format consoles like in the 88R. I wanted to keep something that's very simple, so it's a very, very basic, straight ahead sort of inline design concept, which I think that most people will get really easy and very quickly, and will be able to use to their advantage really well. The other sort of major difference it has is in the monitor section is that it can be a 5.1 monitor section. So the console is a stereo console, so it will only make stereo mixes. But you can, if you want to stem that out in the box and then mix the 5.1s in the box, then it's easy for you to bring back those and actually listen to them on the control room loudspeakers on your big set of monitors. So it's a sort of sort of like people don't need to buy external monitor boxes and stuff like that to control their 5.1 setup. They can use the monitor on here. One very important thing in the 5.1, it uses a VCA system to control the level, but in the stereo mode, it is the balls out, old Neve style Class A mixing system that was used in the BCM10 that gives you that. Well, I can't really say it because I don't really use it in sort of mixing, but people say that marvelous, Neve sound that's achieved by the Class A amplifiers, the transformers, and the voltage mixing that this console uses, and that's what it harks back to really, and that's I think the essence of the old Neve consoles, like the 8014, the 8028, which has obviously been made famous by Dave Grohl, and the later consoles like the 5.8, 6.8s and 8.8s, which are all Class A.
So essentially it's tradition brought up to date?
Yes, that's exactly what it is, and staying true to its nature and its sound, but adding all the features that are really very necessary in this day. I mean, if you just had a standard BCM10, you could use that all day long as a sidecar, but we want people, this is a big investment for people who want to buy this console, so we want it to be able to be, their console in their control room.
Okay. Now I understand that you haven't got the pricing on it yet, but when's it likely to be available to purchase?
It's shipping in the first units are shipping in January of this year.
That's excellent. Thanks very much indeed.
That's all right.